Right, so today we are going to change this humble little box that I got an airbed in for camping, and we're going to change it into a very large witch doctor voodoo priest spell book. So basically what you're going to need is a box of any size. I mean, obviously you need to use one that's kind of, what's the word, book shape-ish, and you're going to paper mache a lot of it. So what I've done, I've cut up some boxes. I've got lots of cardboard boxes, but what I've done is I've made just a little bit on each side to make it look like the bit of the book, if that makes sense, with a bit of a lip. And then on the back, I've just taped some thick pieces of card and folded them over the box to make it look like a spine. So then when you look at it, it's going to have that, once you've done all your paper mache, it's going to look like rounded to look like the spine of the book. And then I've got some white strips of just regular printer paper, and we're going to stick these on now, so then they'll go all the way round so it looks like the book then, and then we'll stick them down, and then we can just distress the paper and stuff, so then it looks all oldie worldy. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on it yet, but obviously we're going to build up the paper mache, so you're going to need a lot of PVA glue. You're going to need some kitchen roll or tissue paper. This kitchen roll is pretty cool because you can pull it apart. There's about 2 layers of it. Yeah, and a big brush, like a big thick PVA brush. PVA brush? No, paintbrush. And some other bits. I'm not sure. I'm going to make it up as I go along, which is always very interesting. And I find the things that I do that way turn out better, as you do. So yeah, so we're going to turn this horrible looking piece of crap into a spooky book. This will take some time because it's not a quick fix. It's not a quick fix. It's not a quick make because obviously you have to wait for it to dry and everything. With your PVA glue to make the paper mache, you can use wallpaper paste mix, but I haven't got any. I thought I did. You mix it with some water as well, so that makes it go a bit further, and then you can, I mean, this will, I'm probably going to have to get some more. It's only about £1 or £2 in Asda, but you can get them in craft stores and everything. And then you're going to have to do loads and loads of layers because obviously this is a thick piece of card, so it needs to be flush with the line of that because there's a bit of a lip there. It doesn't matter if it's tatty and stuff because you're going to be painting over it. So just start with a thin layer of PVA glue, not watered down. Wait for that to dry and then start whacking your paper mache on. So I'm going to start doing that now. I'm going to time lapse a lot of this and put some spooky music on in the background. I hope you enjoy. So I'll see you in a bit, guys. So I have stuck on the white paper all around the top. So it kind of looks a bit like a book. Not. Anyway, so that's that first bit done. So now I'm going to do a layer of just PVA glue. And it's really, I mean, PVA glue is like the craft maker's gold. It's brilliant. You can use it for so many things. So what you need to do, and it doesn't matter what your stuff looks like underneath because you're going to go over it with paint and paper mache and all sorts of good stuff, so it doesn't matter. So you just give this a really, really good coat. Not too thick, obviously, because it's going to take ages to dry. I'm going to try and manage to get a few layers done in a day. Right, so that's that. That's the first layer of PVA. You just need a really good layer of it. So let that just get dry, and then you can start putting on your paper mache. With this tissue paper, not tissue paper, kitchen roll or kitchen towel, whatever you want to call it, that it's usually 2-ply. I think this one is. If it isn't, then it doesn't. Oh no, it is 2-ply. There you go. It just makes the layers a lot easier. I can't do it. There we go. So you just gently pull it apart. It doesn't matter if it rips, but there you go. So you've got 2 pieces there, and then just rip them up into strips. Again, it doesn't matter if it's actually messy, and you lay them. I'll show you how to do that in the next bit though, but that's the first part of that. So cover your whole box. You're going to have to do it in stages obviously because yeah, it's a bit difficult to do. I mean, you might be able to do them bits. You don't do your paper yet. But as you can see, it's nice and shiny now. So then all the tape and everything won't show through and things like that. So go on to the next stage once this has dried a little bit. So this is kind of dry, just a little bit tacky. I have mixed up some PVA with a little bit of water, and I put a little spot of brown paint in there just so I can, it just saves time later on when you want to paint it. So I've painted this little bit here, and then what you do, I'm going to do the spine first so I can build it up, basically. So we'll just put it on like so, and it'll stick better now because obviously it's got a layer of PVA underneath already, so once that gets wet again, it'll catch it and grab it, so to speak. And that's basically all you do. That is, if you don't know how to do paper mache, I'm sure there's some fantastic tutorials online. It's not this. But this is the easiest way I found of doing it. I just put lots and lots of layers on of kitchen paper, and it just makes it nice and solid as well. Because I've done some in the past where I haven't done lots of layers and they're very, very flimsy. And I just realised that you actually can't see what I'm doing. Oh, bugger. So there we go. So the first few are on. I'm going to keep doing this because I have obviously got nothing better to do today. So you just put a little thin layer of where you're going to put your next bit, and then just whack your piece on that, and just another little layer just to wet it down like so. It'll go lumpy on some bits, but that doesn't matter because that's the effect you want to go for. You don't want it to look neat because it's meant to be a very, very old book. I don't know what, maybe I should make it like the Evil Dead book. I might make it out of skin. Ooh. So yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to build up the spine first, and then I'm going to do the flat piece because we've obviously got to build up this. I don't know if you can see very well in the light, so the PVA is drying and it's still a bit shiny there, but it'll still take when you put something on it. So I'm going to do the spine now, and then we'll see how we go with the rest of it. Okay, so I've done some, as you can see. So I've done a couple of layers. I've had to roll up some tissue because it was a really sharp edge there. So I've just rolled it and painted it so it'll get nice and rounded. And then what I'll do the same here. I'll just build it up a little bit here so it'll slant. So hopefully, yeah, it's getting there. It's going to take some time, but paper mache does, or whatever it's called. Paper mache, tissue mache. There we go. So we'll wait for this to dry and then we'll put some more on. Right, quick angle change and costume change. It's really early in the morning and I got up, so decided I was going to have a lot of coffee. And yeah, so this is the book now, if you can see. So it's got little ridge bits, so it's all covered and dry now. This has got about 3 or 4 layers of stuff on, so that's dry, so that's ready to paint now. What I was thinking of doing was, because obviously the book's going to probably like sit like that or maybe lean on something. I'm looking at this other camera as well just in case I want to use it. I'm trying to get multi-angles. So what I want to do is maybe put some string on here to make a symbol on the front maybe, or some weird words. I'm not sure. I'm going to go on Google and have a look. So that's that done. This is nice and dry. It's solid. Okie pokey. So this is the book. Whoops, hello. That went wrong. So I've mixed up some paint. I've mixed up some of the burnt umber, which is just basically a very dark chocolate brown. I mixed in a little bit of the mustard colour. I also mixed some of white, and then that was like a milk chocolatey brown. And then I added some red to make this like brick. Oh, hello, nearly dropped it. To make this like brick colour. I'm going to do layers of colour. I may sponge some colour on as well. I was going to do something else, but I'm going to paint it on instead because it seems a lot of farting about to try and make it with string and paper mache that on. It's just a lot of work, and I just don't really want this to go on forever because it's just too much hassle. So I want it to just look like an old book. So I thought what I will do, I will give it one coat all the way around with this. And as you can see, these paints are awesome. They do a really good, what's the word, thick layer, so you don't really have to put tons of layers of colour on. Very pigmented, as the beauty bloggers would say. Look how pigmented it is. So this, yeah, I'm going to have to do this in stages, obviously, because I've got nowhere to rest this and make it hover. So, but once this dries, then we'll add some little details to the edges. We'll make the edges look a bit darker and maybe lighter to age it up. And then we'll see about the spine of the book as well. And maybe put some like gold pen. I think I've got a gold pen somewhere. And I might do some gold lines down it to make it look like the edge of a book. So we'll have a go with that. But I'm really going to get this on first and see how that goes. Yeah. Cue the spooky music. And there you go. There's the one bit done. So it's quite a quick process, which is brilliant. I've got paint all over me. So there you go. So that's the first coat of it. And then what we'll do, as I said, we'll do the other side, and then we'll think about doing something with the spine. So yeah. So I'll see you in the next bit. Right. So it's dry. Finally, it looks very, very good. So that's all done. So it does look, I mean, it looks mottled, it looks aged. I haven't even done anything with it yet. I've just put loads of paint on it. So the paint's soaked in. There's little patches which haven't. If you can see, there's little bits like there and stuff, but I can fill that in. So that's dry, and now it's ready to be made to look more like a book. So what I'm going to do in the next bit is mix some yellow, like that mustard yellow colour, and some white. A really, really small amount of that yellow, and I'm going to draw some lines on beforehand, just very, very thin ones to make it look like they're pages, and then just paint around to make it look like stained paper. That's the next step. And then after that, we're going to decorate the front, which I'm going to try and use this Baron Samedi symbol. I don't think you can see it very well. I found it on the internet. It looks really quite cool. So it's a symbol for Baron Samedi. I was going to try and do the Papa Legba one. It was really difficult. I should do the Marie Laveau one, to be perfectly honest. I'll get that and do that one maybe. But I have got some ideas more for that anyway. So we'll get that done in the next bit. Light's gone again. Yay! So the next bit is going to be doing the paper. See you in a mo. Right, so I've painted the white bit with yellowy, a very, very small amount of yellow and white. So that's all painted around there. It looks a bit tatty, but I don't really mind. So that's just covered anything that's come through. So that's pretty smart. It's now ready for... Oh gosh, got some paint there, but no one cares. Right, my plan is going to be... I bought these masks. These little... They're like cardboard masks. These are from the Works. They are £1 each. Paper mache masks. And they're just with the elastic basic ones of these. I'm going to make some voodoo mask faces. If you bear with me a second, I can't reach. I made this one. So I've just cut it and then painted it up. I cut the nose out. So what I'm going to do, this is my plan. I think I saw a really cool thing online. I can't remember what channel it was, but never mind. So what I want to do, I'm going to paint these black except for the actual candle itself, and then I'm going to stick that onto the thing in glue, where I've got a glue gun, and then I'll just paint over it and make it look like it's morphed into the book, and then it'll have that on it. Doesn't that look cool? Once these are painted black, I might put something behind this, like paint the behind of it black anyway, and have it like that. So that's what I'm going to do. That's my next job. And then I might tart up the rest of the book. Sorry, then I'll do the spine of the book. But I want to do this first because I'm impatient. So we'll be back in a second. We'll see how I get on with painting the candles black and getting this stuck down and traced round. Okay, let's move you a little bit. Sorry. It's very awkward. There we go, that's better. So I've got it where I want it. So I want it about in the middle, which is fine. So I'm going to trace round the whole thing. With a pencil. And then what I'll do, there we go. So you can't see it on here, but there's an outline anyway. There is an outline. So what I'll do, I'm going to paint this bit black. So then when you put that, you won't see the book through it. And I'm going to paint these black as well. So then you don't see them through the eyes. So yeah, I'm just going to go and get my brush. And then we'll do that. So we're back in a moment. Then here we go. So I'll paint this in the shape of the skull. I must say, this has definitely been a learning curve for me because I went into this not really knowing what I was going to do with it or what I was going to put on the front of it. But I'd already made this mask. I might do a tutorial on how to do it. I mean, it's quite self-explanatory really of how you do it. You need a craft knife. Be very careful with craft knives because they're very sharp. But that's the best thing to use is a craft knife to cut the nose out because they are quite thick, these. And you just shape it. Like, I mean, if you have contoured with makeup, it actually helps because it just does the contour of the jaw. So yeah, I did another one. I don't know where that is though. I was going to get a few of them and put them on the wall in different styles and colours and stuff. I thought that'd be quite cool. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to time-lapse this, I think, because, yeah, it's just going to be easier. Cue the spooky music. There we go, done. So when this goes on now, you won't see as much. It'll be nice and dark, which is good. So what I'll do, I will leave that to dry and see about painting these. I hope the paint does okay on this. It should do. If not, we'll whack some PVA on. And I know you can buy black candles, but guess where I get my candles from? You've guessed it, Primark. You know what? It's such a diverse shop. It's brilliant. You can get so much stuff there. These are in the homeware section. They have them at Christmas as well, but they have glittery ones. They're just, I think they're a pack of 6, a couple of quid. So, you know, you can't go wrong. I get a lot of my stuff. I got some of my costume from Primark. So, I'm not telling you, actually. I'm not going to tell you what my costume is yet. Or what I've got, because that is a surprise. So there we go. One candle painted black. That looks so much better. So right, I'll finish this one. I'm going to leave this to dry. So the next bit then, I'll be gluing this bad boy on here with my new hot glue gun, which is very exciting. And then we'll see how that goes, and we'll fill in the gaps and stuff around it. So we'll be back shortly. I mean, for you, it'll be a second. For me, it's probably going to be a good half an hour. Because, yeah, this paint's taken a lot longer to dry now. It's because it's gone cold. I wish it was summer. Things dry quicker in summer. Back in a mo. Okay. I'm not putting the candles in because I've just realised I'm going to have to keep them on and the batteries won't last till then. So, instead I'm just going to glue it as is. So, I'll figure out lights later. So just put a trail of glue around the line. This is a new glue gun. And I don't get on with glue guns very well. I don't think sometimes they just annoy me. Right, I'll try that and then just plonk it on the top there. Let's put another stick in. These sticks aren't the best. That should hold that. And then just go around the edge. Ah, this is doing my head in now. I know you can't see what I'm doing at the minute. I do apologise, I'm really sorry. But I'm new here. So there's that. I think. Yeah. So then it's got like a seam, so to speak. There's a little air bubble in there that I want to burst. There we go. Yeah, so just go all the way around. You don't have to go around the front bit because obviously, well, on mine you don't have to because it's raised anyway. So they won't be needed for that. Oh gosh, I hate glue guns. I don't like messing with hot glue, it freaks me out. But once it's all stuck down, what we'll do is paint over it. Again, another layer of PVA to seal it a little bit. So then the paint sticks to it. This is the bit I don't like, the stringy bits from from hot glue. It drives me nuts. So, and also, I'd like to add, why don't they make cords long enough on things? It really bugs me. See, look, the stringy bits. The cord isn't long enough. I've got an extension cable leaning on my legs here because the cord's like about that long. You're like, dude. Anyway, so that's actually quite well stuck on there, as you can see. So that's the first bit done. I might maybe cut the hole a bit bigger on the eye so I can actually fit the candle in there, because it's such a shame that it doesn't fit, because I just want it to go. I was going to dismantle it and just try and put the flame bit in there, but no, I'm not that technical. But that's yeah, that's pretty cool. So what I'll do, I'll just make sure this is secure, and then we'll go on to put in a bit of a paint effect around the edges. So we're back in a second. The glue is dry. So what we're going to do is a little baby layer of PVA glue all the way around this bit here, just so then when you put the paint on, it'll just take better and it blends better as well. I don't know, I even add a little bit of tissue just to blend it. These little bits do my head in. Never mind. So yeah, just give it a good old messy layer of PVA, and then it will stick on there really well. Tissue next, which will be this. I'll just use this. I mean, it's not going to be anything amaze balls as per. But yeah, this is how I do things. I do things on the fly, which I think make things more interesting and more fun. So just give that there, and then just like you did on the other bit. I'm going to do that. I haven't poured it into a bowl. I do apologise. I'm very sorry. How unprofessional. And then just blend it onto there. And then push it with the brush. There we go. Fold it over a bit. And that's blended on. And once it's dry, it'll look really cool. I promise you, it will look wonderful. And it looks like it's coming out of the book a little bit then. I won't show you all of this, but that's, so if you carry on round like that, if you kind of push, it'll be really, once the tissue paper's wet or the kitchen roll's wet, you can kind of manipulate it and blend it in, and then push that down a little bit. If you can see, because you can just paint over this again, and that'll blend down. There you go. Just move it around with your brush, and then it looks like it's pushing its way out of the book. There we go. So I'll do the rest of it, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like, and then we'll get on with painting it once it's dry. Right, so he's done. There you go. So it's all the way around, as you can see. Try and turn it for you. So I've done 3 layers. of just a little bits of strips of kitchen paper going round. So I'll leave that to dry. I've blended it out. When you're doing it, push it down as much as you can without ripping it, and then it'll blend really, really well into the skull bit. So it looks pretty smart. I'm actually really excited now to see how this looks. So once this is dry, I know it's not straight. Don't come for me. I'm used to that. I've got my glasses on, which is dangerous. Once this is dry, then we'll add another coat of this weird brick red colour. I want it to be different things. I want it to look messy and stuff. So then once that's done, I'm going to attempt then, because obviously afterwards I've done it, cut a bit more of the holes in the eyes, and we'll try and see if we can fit these in, so then we can pop them in and put the a bit of blue tack on the back of them. Or just on the night, I'll just glue that onto there. There we go. So in the next bit, this will be dry, and I'll paint it. Awesome. Okie dokie, so that's all painted round. I've now made like a cream chocolate, I don't know, creamy colour with, I've mixed some like browns and whites together. So then we'll do, you're gonna have to excuse the mess on my desk if you can see it. I've got so much stuff I'm doing at once. So this bit, just paint it to blend it. I'm gonna do a black edge around it anyway to make a nice line, I think. Not sure yet. I don't know what I'm doing. As you know from my videos, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But there you go. It does look pretty smart though. I'm quite impressed. I mean, it doesn't even have to look neat because it's meant to look old and scratty. Scratty a word? It is now. I'm back. So he's all dry, if you can just see around the edges. So I've just blended it in with like I did mixed white with a tiny little bit of brown and yellow, and that's just blended through. So that now looks like he's coming out of the book, which is great. So once this is all finished, I'll then cut the eyes out a bit more, because I haven't got a sharp blade at the minute on my craft knife. I'm going to have to get some new ones. Then I can fit the lights in. So I was going to write on here, but it is so textured that it's going to not show up at the fine lines that I want to do on it. So I decided that I have this bag of bones, which, if you can see this from this guy, where is he? Oh, can't pick up a skull. So this guy came with loads of different kinds of bones. The bigger ones I'm going to use, but these ones are like the rib bones or clavicles, you know, like what they're called, collarbones. So I decided I'm going to glue these on the top here, like that, which I thought would look pretty cool. And then, oh, there you go, let me just show you this way, sorry, angles. So I'm going to glue the bones on there. I'm going to distress them a little bit more as well, which I'll show you how to do. It's really, really easy. And I've also got this really like thick sisal twine string, and I'm going to put that along the edge of the spine of the book, and then just do a couple of big thick symbols in paint. I'm not going to do anything intricate because it won't show very well. Right, so that's all glued on now. That's pretty firmly on. The edges are done. I'm just going to give them a bit of, maybe put a bit of PVA over it, just to matte it off. And the corners, as you can see, it's a bit tatty, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to be stood like that at an angle, so no one's going to really see the edges anyway. So now I'm just going to do a little bit of distressing on the book itself, just do the edges. There's still bits of glue stick threads, it's really annoying. Yeah, just going to do a bit of distressing on the edges to make it look dog-eared and worn, and then you know what, I'm going to leave the bones as they are, because they look really cool. So every time I tilt the camera, it detects a face, and it's like, oh, there's a face there. So I basically just got a little bit of black acrylic paint and my sponge that I used for the jar video. I'm not going to need lots, so what I do generally is get a tiny little bit on the sponge and then just wipe it like that, so then there's not much on there, because you don't want to have big dark marks. And then we're just going to go around the edges with it. Welcome back. Welcome to my lounge. Nice, isn't it? This is my sofa. There you go. The book is done. I cut eye holes a bit bigger so I could blue tack the lights in, so it looks tons better. I've just turned the lights off, that's why it's darker in here. So it's, oh, my lighting's gone again. it's because I've turned the light off. Because look at it! How cool is that? So they're blue tacked in now. It looks amazing. What I'll do, I will pop some pictures in at the end, as I've done before, with the jar video. And yeah, I love this thing. I want it here all the time. Just sat there, like, right, Steve. Might call him Steve. Right, so that's it. Tutorial of book done. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. It's been lovely. The responses for the jars video was very, very good. Thank you very much, guys, for that. Some of you said that you're going to give it a go. If you do give them a go, as with this, please follow me on Instagram and you send me a picture on Instagram, and then I can put it up on the next video or something and give you a shout out and go, look, this person made this. Or if you don't want to, that's fine. Whatever. Whack a comment below if you have any questions. If you have any suggestions for videos, for craft, Halloween craft, any ideas that you may have. And that's it. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you again. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, press the bell. So if you press the bell, then you'll be notified when I make the next one. So that's it, guys. I will see you in the next one. You have a wonderful day. And yeah, you take care. Love you guys. Bye.